Berber resistance to Arab expansion in North Africa, 8th century. The 8th century marked a transformative period in the history of North Africa, as the region fell under the control of the expanding Arab Empire following the Muslim conquests. However, the Berber people, native to the vast territory stretching from the Atlas Mountains to the Sahara Desert, offered fierce resistance to Arab control and the Arabization policies that accompanied it. Their struggle for autonomy and cultural preservation created a complex narrative of defiance against foreign domination. The Arab conquest of North Africa in the early 7th century, as the Islamic Caliphate spread rapidly across the Middle East, the Arab forces set their sights on North Africa, which had been part of the Byzantine Empire. After initial successes, including the conquest of Egypt in 640, the Arabs turned westward. By the mid-7th century, they had reached the borders of modern-day Tunisia, Libya, and Algeria, where they encountered the Berber tribes. The Berbers, organized into various clans, had a rich cultural and religious landscape that included pagan, Christian, and Jewish influences. They were independent and fiercely proud of their traditions and lands. Despite their initial reluctance to fight, some Berber leaders chose to resist the Arab invaders, while others allied with the Muslims, seeing an opportunity to benefit from the new order. Initial resistance and collaboration. At first, the Berbers' resistance was largely disjointed and ineffective due to the fragmented nature of their tribes. However, their opposition grew stronger as the Arabs pushed further west, seeking to solidify their control over the Maghreb, the region encompassing modern-day Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia. The Berber tribes in the Atlas Mountains, including the Awraba, Zenata, and Sanhaja, began to organize against the Arabs, driven by both political and religious motives. The initial resistance was somewhat ineffective because of the Berbers' lack of centralized leadership and the overwhelming force of the Arab armies, which were led by generals like Uqba ibn Nafi and Musa ibn Nusayr. However, some Berber groups, particularly those in the more remote and rugged mountain areas, managed to offer more effective opposition by utilizing their knowledge of the terrain. The Battle of the Sabra, 683 AD. One of the most significant early episodes of resistance was the Battle of the Sabra in 683 AD. This confrontation saw the Berber tribes, led by a chieftain named Maysara al-Fihri, challenge the forces of the Arab general Uqba ibn Nafi. Despite their fierce resistance, the Berbers were ultimately defeated. However, the battle showed the growing determination of the Berbers to resist Arab expansion. Even after the defeat, many Berbers in the western Maghreb remained opposed to Arab control, particularly as the Arabs sought to impose Islam and Arab culture on the indigenous populations. The Arabization of North Africa was not just a religious conversion, but also a cultural transformation, with the Arabs introducing their language, laws, and social structures, the rise of the Berber revolts. As the Arab forces solidified their hold over the region, tensions increased between the Berbers and the ruling Arab elite, particularly over the heavy taxation and demands for military service. Berber resentment intensified in the 8th century due to the Arabization policies, which sought to replace Berber languages with Arabic and suppress traditional customs. This led to a series of revolts throughout North Africa, with the most significant uprisings occurring in the 740s. The most prominent revolt during this period was led by the Berber chieftain Khalid ibn Yazid, who managed to rally several Berber tribes to his cause in 740 AD. His forces engaged in a series of guerrilla tactics, fighting off the Arab invaders in the mountains and desert regions. The Berbers' knowledge of the harsh terrain, combined with their ability to mobilize quickly, made them a formidable enemy. The Battle of the Oued al-Makazin, 746 AD. In 746 AD, the Berber revolt reached its peak with the Battle of the Oued al-Makazin. where Berber forces, now unified under a charismatic leader named Awraba ibn al-Khattab, faced off against the Arabs. This battle marked the beginning of the Berber resurgence against Arab control, and although the Arab forces were ultimately victorious, the Berbers had managed to delay the Arabization process and destabilize the region for several years. The end of the Arabization push. Despite the continuing resistance, the Berbers eventually came to terms with the Arab rule, though on their own terms. The Arabs were unable to fully impose their culture and religion on the Berber population, as many Berbers continued to practice their traditional beliefs or blend them with Islam. Over time, the Berbers began to adopt Islam in greater numbers, but they did so on their own terms, integrating the religion into their own local customs. Legacy of the Berber resistance. The Berber resistance to Arab expansion in the 8th century had lasting effects on North Africa. Though the Arabs succeeded in establishing control, they were unable to fully Arabize the region. The Berber tribes retained their language, customs, and distinct identity, which continue to shape the culture of North Africa today. Moreover, the resistance led to the emergence of powerful Berber dynasties, such as the Almoravid and Almohad empires, which would later rule large parts of the Maghreb and even Spain. The resistance of the Berbers in the 8th century is a testament to the resilience and autonomy of indigenous peoples in the face of foreign expansion. It highlights the complexities of cultural assimilation and the persistence of local identity, even under the weight of overwhelming military force. The Berbers' legacy is one of defiance, adaptation, and the enduring spirit of self-determination.